5 winters had passed, yet the tale of Irish had not faded into silence. It had sharpened into legend. Farmers still whispered his name beside the fire. Soldiers muttered it on their night watch, and mothers soothed frightened children with songs of the giant protector. Yet those who truly knew spoke of him with deeper awe, not merely as a towering figure, but as the man who could walk among them by day and rise as a giant when the world demanded a shield. Word of him traveled like a slow-moving tide, and at last it reached the carved oak desk of King Alaric of Eldoria. The rumor was brought by a grizzled commander fresh from the Eastern Front, who laid down a crude drawing, a man swelling into a giant, wielding a tree trunk as a warhammer. Alaric, whose ambition gleamed sharper than the gilded edge of his sword, studied the drawing with a hunter's stillness. His council dismissed it with nervous scoffs. A fable, they insisted, a trick of frightened peasants. But Alaric saw more. He felt the shifting balance of power, the southern warlords rising, the mountain tribes pressing. If such a man existed, one who could become more than mortal, then he was no fable. He was a weapon worth bending the world for. Send riders, Alaric commanded, not soldiers, the royal guard, robed in gold. They will not demand his presence, they will entreat it, with gifts, with honor, with respect. And so the summons went forth, bearing promises of a dukedom, lands rich and green, a treasury of jewels. But the true lure was spoken last, the honor of saving thousands, where once he saved only a village.
The messengers found Irish not in some lonely wilderness, but among his people, hauling the massive beam of a new long house into place. He stood as a man, sweat shining on his brow, his strength already enough to lift what would take 6 others. Yet, when the armored riders approached, they faltered at the sight in his eyes, calm but vast, as if holding a storm beneath their surface. Their words spilled forth, wrapped in ceremony and gold, but Irish's face betrayed little. He listened, then dismissed them with a promise of his answer at dawn. That evening, as shadows stretched long, he sought Astrid. He found her by the sacred stone, the runes glowing faintly in the moonlight, her staff resting lightly in her hand.